out with little man this afternoon. He had his feet trimmed a little while ago. So, cruising on down the road, and here's this happy boy looking at where he's going, always interested in everything. And it was lovely and sunny when I came out of the house without a sweatshirt. But now we have some clouds in the sky, and as a result, it is a little, of course, we're behind a cloud now. The sun is behind a cloud, and it's gotten kind of chilly out here. And of course, being in a convertible, that's a good boy. He says, let's go trot around the haystack. No. He is in the 3-year-old itis of, I'm going to decide where to go. And hopefully he will come out of that very soon. Yes, I'm talking to you. He's just about ready to take to town. And one of these days, I'll get that done. I take them into the rodeo arena and park there. And then we go drive all over town. Sometimes I'll park them up by the feed store, or up by the museum, at the museum, and let them just be there while the trains are going by, because that's a good thing for them to learn too. There is a big gopher hole, not a gopher hole, it's a badger hole right over there, and I really do not want to find it with a horse. And of course, there's no point in filling it in, because they'll dig it out again in about 3 seconds. Back over here. I don't trust those badgers. When it got trimmed, we just took off a little bit of wall, didn't have to take any sole out, and his soles are just hard as a rock, which is why he can continue to trot right on down the Caliche Road, Caliche part of the road, without going ow, ow, ow on the rocks. And I do like to take them to town barefoot for the first time, so that they are not so slippery, slidey on the pavement as they would be with shoes on. One of our biggest goals when we go to town is crossing the railroad tracks. That can be very daunting. Usually they'll trot right up to them and then slide to a stop and look at them and say, I don't know that I can do that. With a little bit of gentle coaxing, they discover they can do that. It's okay. And they trust me. And we always make sure that we've got a good solid level of trust before we go to town, so that if there are fear things, he'll revert to me and what I have to say to him about it. And one of the fun things that we get to do is meet up with other horses that are stabled right around town that then get to see a horse in park. So we get them kind of used to it. Keep moving. That's a boy. Yeah, we're almost to that spot. Boy, everything around here, this field looks dead. Our field looks dead. But boy, the neighbor's wheat looks fabulous. Let's walk. Some of the wheat around here looks really great, and some of it not so much, because it was planted so late last year. Everybody had a hard time because we had so much moisture that they couldn't get in the fields. Okay, through this deep ditch. Ugh. It was not exactly how I wanted to go through it, but he went through without even considering it being a problem. And now we have the lake or the pond is down considerably, and he just walks right through here without a thought about it. Down the hills, up the hills. Ooh, it's getting kind of stinky. And Nikki is along, so I'm pretty sure she'll be in the middle of it before too long. I want to go up and then to the right, please. That's a boy. Up, 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 up. Ugh, I know. I'm a feather behind you. I know that for sure. Now, I don't really want to go through this deep ditch either. Let's figure out a way to go through there without it being a chunk on you. Good boy. I guess Nikki didn't keep coming. Just Amy and Doodlebug are with me. Of course, the fact that Amy beats her up all the time may have something to do with why she didn't want to come. Yay, sunshine. That's a killdeer, I hear calling and calling. Probably wondering what we're doing in its water. That's a boy. Ugh, up that hill. Alright, let's try and hit this ditch a little bit more diagonally this time instead of a great big thunk in the middle of it, huh? That's a boy. That's a boy. Drop one wheel down. Drop the other wheel down. That was very smooth. Good boy. Feel how much better that was? Shall we working trot? Little man, working trot. Keep up with Amy. He's thinking, he doesn't have to. Yes, you do. Don't you run over Amy. You just run up to Amy. Nope. I was thinking about going that way. We're not going to go that way because you wanted to. Now we're going to just go straight. So that we know for sure that it's always my decision where we go. All the sprinklers are running around here. We need moisture. I heard a news story this morning about a meat processing plant up in Liberal that had a fire last night. I guess there was a truckload of pallets and one was full of processed meat ready to go out. A refrigerator truck. A giant barbecue, I'm afraid. What a good boy. I think he's actually handling his feet a little more comfortably than he was. That's awesome news. Yes, if you were a year older, I'd drive you to town. By the time they're 4, they're usually in good enough condition that I can drive them to town. That's 19 miles. And aside from crossing pavement, we're able to stay on dirt all the way. And I like to do it before the tractors get to running. It's an experience to meet one of those ginormous tractors coming down the road. What a good boy. All right, let's walk. Heck of a note when your dog responds faster than your horse. Yep, I want to go right through there and right up into the field. Ugh. Oh, we're meeting all the big rocks, big dirt clods. And there ahead is another neighbor's wheat that looks pretty darn good for how late it was planted. This one is under irrigation. The last one you looked at is dry land. And we are going through milo stalks. You ready to trot? Let's working trot. Little man, working trot. Good boy. Not this coming weekend, but the next weekend there is a meet and greet down in Amarillo for area drivers. I'm looking forward to going to that. I believe I will be taking Gig. All my mares are too pregnant. Yes, I know Amy just went zipping off to the side. We're not going that way. Very often the farmers will have a road between dryland crops and the irrigated field, and that's been our best place to trot around. But we have to keep a sharp eye out because of holes. And unfortunately we have, not up on this end, which is the north end of this field and our field, but working trot. But down on the south end, there are moles moving in. We've never had them before. They've been on the west side of 119, but not on this side. And we have a lot of badger holes down there that are brand new, but badgers eat two things. They eat, well, I'm sure they eat a lot of things, but they eat small rodents, which would be moles, and they eat snakes. And I'd rather they leave my bull snakes alone, but they can have, and my gopher snakes, but they can have all the rattlesnakes they want. And unless they are bitten absolutely on the end of the nose, they are unaffected by the rattlesnake venom. Which makes me wonder why they aren't using badgers to develop vaccines. But that's the way my mind works, so. Jennifer, you're going to have an awfully fun horse out of this one. Yes, I know it's making a lot of noise and it's putting drag on it for all those things. Get over it. What a good boy. Where they didn't cut the stalks down so short, it makes a lot of noise on the bottom of the carriage. So I like to do that quite a bit, so they get used to it. I believe the western kingbirds are back, and the killdeers are back, and the blackbirds, red and yellow-winged blackbirds are back, and the red-winged blackbirds. The yellow-headed birds haven't showed up yet. And we have western meadowlarks here that we have flocks that summer here, and then we have other flocks that winter here. So I can hear meadowlark song all year long, and I absolutely love it. You ready to walk for a little bit? Amy said she's ready to slow down for a little bit. Walk on.